urgent MD centers are up and running in Long Island and Queens. 2 are under construction in Brooklyn, and additional locations are being aggressively sought, either by building or by acquisition. Unlike other areas of the U.S., in New York, the larger national multi-center operators have virtually no presence yet, and the market is fragmented among smaller chains and solo operators that are ripe for M&A. At the same time, according to a recent article in the Wall Street Journal, the supply of growth-oriented, smaller urgent care chains for investing is getting increasingly scarce. There is no more opportune time to get in place on this exploding subsector of healthcare and New York's emerging urgent care market. Urgent needs to stand out. I'd like to present David Schwab, the Chief Operating Officer.
Thank you, Friedman. Hello, Mentar. Try to get the PowerPoint working. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Shiboleth. I'm David Schwab, Chief Operating Officer of Urgent MD. Urgent MD is a chain of 3 to 5 family urgent care centers. 2 are under construction currently. And let me tell you a little bit about what we do and why we're here tonight. As you can see from some of the handouts that are around the room, please feel free to take the little doctor pens, they're cute. There has been a proliferation of urgent care centers popping up throughout the New York metro area in the past couple of years, throughout the country in the past several years. Recent articles in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and Forbes refer to private equity's hunger for the urgent care industry, specifically as a subsector of healthcare offering retail medicine in urban settings. The changing face of medicine, as you can see from the picture up there, some of you may remember the Norman Rockwell image of the way medicine used to be delivered in the old days. From 1950 until yesterday, the choice was either go into a primary care physician, or if they were closed, or they couldn't handle it for whatever reason, they don't have x-rays, they don't do suturing, you go straight to the emergency room. Today and tomorrow, that has all changed, and now the existence of urgent care centers provides care for most immediate medical needs. What is urgent care? Urgent care is a hybrid. It's a hybrid between the emergency department of hospitals, the ER, and a doctor's office. It's also a hybrid between traditional medical care and the retail experience that we as Americans have all become so used to. We treat non-life-threatening conditions only. If it's life-threatening, we refer them directly to the ER. We offer the convenience of being close to home. We're in local communities. We're open early and late, and no appointment is needed. You just walk in. And best of all, it's far less costly than emergency room care. Urgent care is the first retail health play, according to this Forbes article. It's a huge cultural shift in healthcare delivery. Now, why is urgent care hot right now, and specifically in the New York metro area? It is a consumer-driven healthcare model. Patients are now consumers, and convenience is the key. We offer our services 365 days a year, 7 days a week, and we're open for 12 hours a day. Most primary care physicians don't do that. Medical care is now a commodity, and the consumers have demands. It's all about convenience and accessibility, and in addition, the shortage of primary care physicians throughout the country, for numerous reasons, has caused long waits in physicians' offices. And finally, the aging of our population. The youngest of the baby boomers are now turned 50, the oldest are approaching 70. So there is a large segment of our population in need of medical care. Last but not least, the Affordable Care Act. Obamacare has introduced 95 million more patients with insurance into the healthcare marketplace. Many of them have high deductibles. What happens is when they show up at an emergency room at 10 o'clock at night, and their deductible is $5,000, and the emergency room bill is $2,800, it costs them $2,800. When you come to an urgent care center, it's far less. More patients are going to the ER because they're covered. The ERs are overcrowded, and too many patients who are seeking ER care are seeking them for lower acuity conditions, meaning they could be treated in urgent care centers. 15%, need I say more, everyone's familiar with that one, 15% actually represents the number of emergency room patients that really need to be in an emergency room. 85% of them can't be treated in urgent care. Emergency rooms are a hassle. Urgent cares are clean, quick, cheap, and accessible. The cost of urgent care versus the cost of an ER visit for the exact same treatment and code is 85% lower on average than it would be in an ER. The average cost of an urgent care center visit is under $200 versus over $1,500. Urgent care equals accessibility and convenience. By the numbers, the development of our industry in recent years, well, there's been an explosion. The number of urgent care centers in the United States now number 9,000. A few years ago, that number was 4,000. I'm talking 3 or 4 years ago. The number is going to 15, 18, or 20,000 according to experts. The number of urgent care centers in New York is only 400. We lag behind the rest of the country. It hasn't caught on in New York as quickly as it has. It's finally catching on with rapid speed and heading towards 1,000. In New York, the marketplace is fragmented. There are no large players the way there are in the rest of the country. The McDonaldization of healthcare with a touch of Disney. What we're offering, and basically the entire urgent care industry, if it's doing it right, is offering, is convenience and accessibility, customer-friendly staff, efficiency, consistent quality of care, and such nice things as flat screen TVs in the waiting rooms if you happen to wait more than 15 or 20 minutes, free Wi-Fi, and of course in-house labs, x-rays, suturing, next-day follow-up, and a standardization of care. This is similar to the Americans' expectation of 24/7 banking experience, 24/7 shopping experience, and now 365, 7 days a week, 12-hour a day urgent care medical experience. And so the rush is on. In the past several years, some of the largest venture capital and private equity firms have been buying out urgent care groups. General Atlantic, together with Sequoia, bought MedExpress for $450 million. There were 800 locations. Humana bought Concentra for, I believe it's $120 million. This didn't come out right. The enhanced equity funds bought NextCare. Dignity bought U.S. Health Courts, American Family, Doctors Express for hundreds of millions of dollars in a rush to get into this business. What are the barriers of entry to urgent care? Well, the cost to open each urgent care center and to equip them properly are about $2 million per location. There are limited new insurance company contracts in New York. What that means is the commercial insurance marketplace is very controlled and limited. As we know, medicine in New York, as in most of the rest of the country, is managed care. And there are networks. We have contracts with all the existing networks for the commercial insurance. We were grandfathered in. Anyone getting into this business will find it very, very difficult as time goes on to get new contracts. Location, 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 think retail. The key to success in this business is being located in high densely populated areas that can capture the market share. Our position in the New York urgent care marketplace, well, we started our business a little over 1 year ago, and by the end of this year, we will have 6 operating locations. We currently have 3 operating, 2 under construction, and 1 in plans. We currently have 59 employees currently. By the end of the year, we'll reach 75. We've already raised $8 million privately, and we are recognized as a top quality brand in the industry. All of our centers are branded to look and feel the same, and are fully stocked and outfitted with the highest quality material. Only a few chains in New York have actually been fully capitalized by private equity. The rest of them are fragmented. There are moms and pops owning private physicians owning 1 or 2 locations, and there are no big players, there are no franchises in New York where they exist in the rest of the country. There is a tremendous opportunity for another large chain to emerge. Our growth strategy is to build it right, and they will come. We have targeted a specific patient demographic which takes into account the fact that New York is so densely populated, but we're looking for locations that can reflect above average income, above average family size, and a well-insured population. Our expansion plans, in the next 18 to 24 months, we expect to open an additional 15 locations, hopefully with your help. The capital requirement for that is $40 million. The minimum investment is $100,000 for accredited investors. Our exit strategy, make a lot of money. How? Through an event once we reach that 20 to 30 center mark, through either an acquisition, a merger, or a roll-up into a larger organization, or possibly an IPO. UrgentMD's management team is a group of seasoned professionals represented here by our medical director, Dr. Robert Van Amrongen. Dr. Van Amrongen has been the chief of pediatric emergency medicine at New York Methodist Hospital for the past 18 years, highly respected in this field. And what we've established is a standard of service consistency and standardization of care across the model. For more information, please contact our CEO, who unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. His name is Neil Koloman. And we have some information and handouts here for you to answer any questions. Thank you.
Question for myself, and then I'll put it out onto the audience. You say that New York is historically underdeveloped relative to the rest of the country for urgent care.
Excellent question. New York has been slow to accept the urgent care model. The primary reason is that the barrier to entry for a business person to get into the field of medicine in New York is different than the rest of the country. In the rest of the country, you can invest in a PC or a PLLC offering healthcare. In New York, it's against the law. One doctor can't even refer another patient to his friend for a referral fee. It's illegal. So how do business people get into the business of owning urgent cares in New York? It's through a process known as